if you're an African, okay, and you're having a child or you're having sexual intercourse with somebody who's not an African, you are allowing someone into your bloodline that the universe did not dictate to be there naturally. And therefore, you're going to inherit cardiovascular diseases such as red blood cell hemolysis, hemolytic disease, jaundice, and all the other shit that niggas is getting now because you're breeding with Neanderthals. And it is also scientifically proven that Neanderthals introduced bacterial-based and virus-based and fungus-based genes into the human through what they call an interbreeding series, interbreeding process thousands of years ago. Hemolytic disease is when the mother immune system tries to attack and kill the baby that she's pregnant with. Why? Because the immune system identifies the baby as a foreign species. Now, what is an antigen? An antigen is a toxin or foreign substance that invokes a response from the immune system. So what happens is once the A and B antigens or the Rh positive monkey blood becomes impregnated within or foundated within the Rh negative mother, the Rh negative mother's body says, wait a minute, I'm a human. Why is there a monkey inside of me? And the body tries to kill the monkey, okay, or the monkey blood or the dog genes, basically the genes that are not human. And what happens is you have to go to the doctor to get a ROGAM shot, because what the ROGAM shot does is it basically tells your immune system to don't attack the fetus by sending red blood cells through the placenta and terminating the pregnancy, but to let it grow. So without that ROGAM shot, all unnatural entities would be self-destructing. Hence, this is why Caucasian people have a shitty-ass birth rate and they're not really having children, because their bodies are killing their own offspring because they're identifying themselves as non-human. So when we're talking about survival of the fittest and only the strong will survive, genetically, anything that is unnatural already has DNA, has edizymes in it. And edizymes work like how editors work at newspaper companies. They basically edit errors. And the edizymes that are in what is called the human genome code are not allowing non-natural genetic codes and sequences to reproduce. So without ROGAM and all of this genetic engineering and all of this shit that they're doing, and now you can customize your baby eye color, all of this crazy shit. Without them doing all of these genetic experiments, it'll be a wrap for their ass. And now keeping it kicking, okay? Because we want to talk about organ harvesting and taking stem cells, because a stem cell can be manifested into any kind of cell you need it to be. But, you know, we want to understand, once you understand the genetic and biological origins of non-Africans, you can understand why all of these scientific experiments and organ harvesting is taking place. But keeping it kicking and continue on. So hemolytic disease is when the mother, Rh negative mother, tries to terminate the pregnancy because she identifies the body as a foreign species. Now, why this is important? This is exactly what a mule does. Whenever a mule gets impregnated, it tries to kill its own offspring, you know, biochemically. Why? Because it identifies it as foreign. We know that a mule is a cross between a horse and a donkey. So if a mule is a genetically engineered animal and a Caucasian is doing the same goddamn thing genetically, or if you have a baby with somebody who's either non-African or has rhesus monkey blood and they're doing the hemolytic disease, we understand that you're carrying a hybrid. And your body's trying to get rid of a hybrid. So we know that a hybrid is what? By scientific definition, two different species merged together. So we have to ask ourselves, where the fuck do the hybrids come from? They come. Not only do you get hemolytic disease from the Rh positive blood, you get what is called red blood cell hemolysis. Now, red blood cell hemolysis is when basically, if you're a black woman and you let a Caucasian or an Asian or an Arab man, a non-African, basically a man that's not your species, ejaculate into you, or if you're a man, because what men gotta understand is your penis doesn't just push, it sucks in too. So this is why, like I stated before earlier in one of my breakdowns, if you ejaculate or you masturbate a lot, you can get sick. Why? Because your penis sucks in, and it's sucking in the bacteria from the oxygen. So this is why your immune system gets weak every time you ejaculate, because you're sucking in harmful particles out of the oxygen. But with that being said, if you're a man, if you're a black man, let's say you're having sex with a white woman who Rh positive, and you're ejaculating in her, your penis is actually, every time it's pushing out your semen, it's sucking in her fluids as well. So what happens is, whether you're a black man or black woman, when you have sex with somebody outside of your race, once their blood becomes infused with yours through semen exchange, okay, or through exchange of biochemical fluids, the rhesus monkey blood in their bloodstream begins to fuse with yours, and you get a cardiovascular disease, aka disease in your blood. And this disease is called red blood cell hemolysis. Red blood cell hemolysis leads to hemolytic disease. Now, what is red blood cell hemolysis? Red blood cell hemolysis is when the protein in your blood begins to get broken down, specifically hemoglobin. Now, if you know anything about melanin, you know that the only thing that differs humans, black people, because we're the humans, melanated beings, people who have neuromelanin, from plants is hemoglobin and chlorophyll, aka iron and magnesium. We have iron in our blood. Plants have magnesium. If we have the same exact chemical makeup of plants, black people have the same exact chemical makeup as plants. If we were to switch our iron with their hemoglobin, with their magnesium, we would now have chlorophyll and they would now have melanin. This is how we can eat the sun and digest the sun. And I'll do a video on that called human photosynthesis. But with that being said, what happens is once you break down the hemoglobin in the blood, it begins to produce bilirubin. And bilirubin is a white yellowy substance which actually overtakes the body of newborn babies, and it causes their skin pigmentation or the whiteness in their eyes to become yellowish orange, aka what you call jaundice, which is the medical condition created from either the breakdown of blood cells. So when they tell you that a baby has jaundice, it doesn't just mean you was drinking too much and damaging your liver, because you could be straight vegan and have a jaundice baby. So one of the ways that the blood cells are being broke down, aka the bilirubin is being released from breaking down the hemoglobin in the blood, is through the red blood cell hemolysis. You're having sex with someone who's a non-human. And so with that being said, not only do you got to get the Rogam shot to stop your body from terminating the pregnancy, now you got to fight jaundice when it comes out. And how do you heal jaundice? Light exposure. This is why they put your baby under the blue light. Remember, plants perform photosynthesis through magnesium, aka chlorophyll. Humans perform it through hemoglobin, aka iron. So they basically put you under the light the same way they put a plant under a light. But all you need is natural sunlight. And sometimes the light is not enough, and you have to feed the baby so that the baby can release the bilirubin throughout its bowel movement or its fecal matter. But with that being said, jaundice, red blood cell hemolysis, and hemolytic disease are all genetic results from having sex with hybrid species and entities. And so what we have to understand, family, is science is very important as far as genetics, so that we can know how we should operate in our own beings. So if I'm white, I know that I shouldn't have sex with anybody that's not white, because you're going to wipe me out. If I'm black, I know that I shouldn't have sex with anybody that's not black, because I know that you're going to delete and cause inconsistencies in my genetic signatures and encoding. So with that being said, you're also going to give me multiple blood diseases. And so with that being said, when we keep talking about love everybody and you can love who you want to love, yeah, you can. If you want fucking hemolytic disease, if you want red blood cell hemolysis. And so we keep creating hybrid entities and hybrid entities and hybrid entities and hybrid entities. And we're not understanding why everybody on the planet can't function to a regular capacity. We are not the same people. Black people are 100% human beings. All non-black people are primitive and ape. If you're an African, okay, and you're having a child or you're having sexual intercourse with somebody who's not an African, you are allowing someone into your bloodline that the universe did not dictate to be there naturally. And therefore, you're going to inherit cardiovascular diseases such as red blood cell hemolysis, hemolytic disease, jaundice, and all the other shit that niggas is getting now because you're breeding with Neanderthals. And it is also scientifically proven that Neanderthals introduced bacterial-based and virus-based and fungus-based genes into the human through what they call interbreeding series, interbreeding process thousands of years ago. This is also confirmed by fake funky ass people who try to introduce evolution. And so Neanderthal genes have not and have never been good for non-Neanderthals. This is science. A fucking monkey should not have a baby with a tarantula. Motherfucker, it's two different species. So we're not saying I hate you because you're white. I don't give a fuck. I hate you because you're Arab.